That just hurts my feeling. Ouch. That hurts my feeling. Wow. I did not expect that to happen in that game. Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining me today for another draft of Aetherdrift. I'm Nico aka Ananda MTG, trying to make the magic happen. So without further ado, let's draft. Okay. Good rare, good rare, good rare. Quack Feast is a good removal spell, but I don't really know if that is the best card out of this pack. We have an Unswerving Sloth, which is fine, I guess. Momentum Breaker, which fits the Rakdos deck, but it's also good in some other decks. And common-wise, there's Engine, Red Burner, Rocket. There is a Guidelight Optimizer, which I do like, but I think the Momentum Breaker is just a very, very good start here. So let's see what else is there. Now we have District Mascot, which I think is just a good solid one drop for any green deck. There's Stampeding Scurryfoot, the best common in the set. We have a Run Over, we have Fang Druid Summoner. I think taking the District Mascot is just very, very good. Although if I don't take it, well, let's see. I'll take it. I'll just take it here. And now we have The Last Ride. We have Aetherdrift, Flood the Engine, Wreckage Wickerfolk. I do like The Last Ride. It's okay. I can pay 2 life and 3 to draw a card. And it can be a good thing later on. Kind of looks like it's open here to black is open. I have a Wreckage Wickerfolk. I have a Lightning Strike. There's a Blossoming Sands. I have a Flood the Engine. This pack is really good. And what's the best pick? I think, to be honest, just take the Wreckage Wickerfolk, because that in any black deck is a good card, to be honest. Surveilling 2 is a very nice ability that I do love to be able to. And now we have Flood the Engine. I think that's probably the best card for me to take here. I don't love the Endrider Spike Spitter that much. Light Will Enhancements is just not a good card in my opinion. There's the Venom Sack, which is a good card, and it fits my first picks here so far. Let's just take it. And now we have a Veteran Beast Rider. That is a clear sign on green and white, but there were no really good in the second pack. There were a lot of good green cards, commons. But I don't like, okay, if it's on the splash, it's good. And to be honest, other than that, there's just nothing really interesting. The Velohard Bike would be good. Prowcatcher Specialist could work in some aggressive Rakdos deck. But Veteran Beast Rider is just a very, very good card. I have played it in the past. I will play it in the future. And I like it. It's a good card. And here we have Explosive Getaway. Exile up to 1 target artifact or creature, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next step. Explosive Getaway deals 4 damage to each creature. That is just kind of mass removal. But it can save a creature for you. I don't think I want to take that. I'd rather have a Bestow Greatness, I think, or a Silken Strength. Maybe just as an element of surprise, I think. Or the Bestow Greatness. I do prefer the Bestow Greatness. I do prefer it. And here is a very late Apocalypse Runner. That's pick number 7. And there's also a Siphon Fuel, but it's not the best removal spell in my opinion. I see a world where I can go into the Rakdos deck, maybe. I don't want to take the Spot Cycle Scouter, so I'll just take the Apocalypse Runner and see where this goes. And here, this pack is just kind of mediocre here. The Velohard Bike is probably the best card. There's also the Scrap Compactor, which I do like. But I think, you know what? The Velohard Bike is just a fine card. And here now I have 17 lands open. I'll open that just to see what else is known missing. They took the Quack Feast, Spell Pierce, Rocky Road. So blue and black. They took the good cards. They just took the good cards, to be honest. But I think so. I think red is probably a thing that could work out. Ooh, now I was too not fast enough, taking the maximum overdrive out of this pack. So let's just confirm that and see the next pack. Here is someone playing red and black, and but that is again a good chance that the Blossoming Sands will provide me to splash the Veteran Beast Rider, which I do love for sure. And here I'd rather take the Crash and Burn over the Light Wheel enhancements, I guess. So that is pick number 12. And here we have Reef Roads versus Mountain. I'll take the Reef Roads, even though I will probably not end up playing that card. And here I was too late because I haven't used 17 lands before. So now I started using it. And here we have an Agonosaur. We have an Unswerving Sloth, but I just think, to be honest, I have some good green cards, and to pass the Agonosaur is just plain stupid, to be honest. I think I can not pass that card with a good conscience. I'm not able to pass that card. Other than that, this pack contains a Runover, which I do love. It's a very good removal spell, but this Agonosaur is not going to come again. And we have a Maximum Overdrive, we have the Momentum Breaker, we have the Bestow Greatness if we end up in black and green. We have some interactive spells here. So I think the Agonosaur is just a very good top-end card for me to play in the late game. And here we got past a Greenbelt Guardian. I do love taking this card. There's also Curse Cloth Wrappings, and that is also a very good card because I can just return my creatures. I think it's even better than the Greenbelt Guardian, to be honest. It's double black, but you know, it can just return anything, which I do love. And so I'll take that Curse Cloth Wrappings here. It seems like we are green and black with a splash of white. Here's a Fang Druid Summoner that can search for nothing. I don't have any card without text so far, without an ability. So what's the take from this pack? Crash and Burn probably, or the Night Market. I'll take the Night Market because I don't really know if I'll end up playing red after all. So let's just take the Night Market because that will fit into any deck. And here we have a Tough Pick, Plow Through, or Pothole Mole. The other cards I'm not too fond of. Risky Shortcut is okay, but I think to have a second Venom Sac Lagag is just a very good thing for me. So I'll take the Lagag here, and from now on, oh, there's another Apocalypse Runner. But not many Rakdos cards came my way other than that one. So I think Tune Up. We have Tune Up. Do I have some good artifacts? Not really. I have the Curse Cloth Wrappings, but other than that, I have no artifacts at all. So let's just take the Scrap Compactor over the Elacrian Jaguar for sure, or the Mutant Surveyor. I do love to have one Mutant Surveyor in my deck. And here we have Streaking Oil Gorger. Sure, that can be played. Rover Blades, which I don't love that much. It's just not too good, I think. And Scrounging Skyray, but I don't think that we want to end up in blue, not with this start that we had. So let's just take a Streaking Oil Gorger. Think that's a very, very good card. And here I'll have the Thunderhead Gunner, just because I don't love the Jaguar. The Wickerfolk is okay. I mean, I don't have anything that mills. So is the Wickerfolk better or the Jaguar? I think I don't love Jaguar. I take the Wickerfolk. It's just a little cheaper and it has more upside for me. Now another Apocalypse Runner comes our way. Keen Buccaneer is a very good card. Spectral Interference. There's just nothing that our deck really wants. So we are some mid-rangey, slow deck that just tries to ramp somehow, or that just tries to survive into the late game. And here I'll take the risky shortcut just to have some more interaction, because I am lacking interactive spells. So here's another Pedal to the Metal versus Spectral Interference. Do we really? Yeah, I think the green splash is okay with those 2 drops. It's not ideal. Maybe I should have gone into blue, but you know what? Grim Javelineer is more of a aggro card here. Does fit the aggro strategy more. I'll take the Ticket Tortoise. It just helps me with the splashing. And Brightfield Mustang, putting that in my sideboard. And another Swamp. So, pack number 3. Marketback Walker, Spin Out. And I do think at the point where I am, the Spin Out is just the card that I will benefit the most from. There's also Fang Guardian, which I do love, actually. To be honest, it's just a really good card, and I am lacking creatures, just 10 creatures. I don't love having no removal spells, but the Momentum Breaker. So yeah, I'll take the Spin Out, I'll take it. Why not? And here are some cards. Mutant Surveyor, Flood the Engine, Thunderhead Gunner. I might see a world where we splash the Gunner, but we would need the Bloodfell Caves for that. But to be honest, there were so many cards coming our way, and picking the Hazard of the Dune is just the much safer pick for me, because if I end up splashing white, then I don't want to splash red, and I do love to splash white just for the Veteran Beast Rider. Hazard of the Dunes is what I will be taking gladly from this pack. So we have a Velohard Bike, and that would also that would allow us to splash even more. So I think it's a good card, but Pothole Mole is just also very good. Helps me find a land, and I do have a Blossoming Sands in the night market, so I think the Pothole Mole is just a little better than the Velohard Bike at this point here. There's also another Maximum Overdrive, which I would love, to be honest. I do love it, but I'll take the Pothole Mole from this pack. Now we have a Scoured Barrens and a Gallon Strike. There is a world where I see a potential white splash for also just for removal. But I think the Scoured Baron is just what this deck wants the most at this point. Yeah, so I'll take the Scoured Barons to establish my mana fixing here. There's a Silken Strength, and I took the Bestow Greatness from the first pack, so I'll take the Silken Strength from this pack. I don't want that Cloudsparrow Captain. Not on the splash. That's just not worth splashing for. And here we have another Mutant Surveyor. I do love this card. I think it's actually a very, very good card. We already have one, But you know what else to pick? Bestow Greatness is the second one? I don't think so. I think I want the Mutant Surveyor over the second Bestow Greatness. Here's a Ranger's Ether Hive, which is also really nice, to be honest. But I don't want to splash that here. So taking the Stardom Column or the Walking Sarcophagus, I think it's just I don't want any of those cards. I'll take the Unswerving Sloth. You know, why not? Not sure if I end up playing it, but here I'll take the Jungle Hollow just to establish my mana here even more. Now there's a Ticket Tortoise that would help us, but so mana wise it's looking very solid. I think we're not going to miss out on anything. I don't love the roadside assistance, even though I played a game where that got really annoying for me. So let's just take the Thunderhead Gunner. I think we might be able to make that splash with the Ticket Tortoise and the Night Market, or the Rise from the Wreck. You know, yeah, returning so many cards to my hand is just much better than the Thunderhead Gunner for my deck here. And I'll take a second Veloheart Bike just to be even more able to get into my my colors. So let's just take the Pedal to the Metal from this pack. So somehow I often end up in a Golgari deck. Sometimes it just doesn't work out even if it feels solid. So let's just take out these mountains and this Pedal to the Metal. So now we have 41 cards. There's just none here. So I'll just take out the Unswerving Sloth. I have the Agonosaur, I have the Jaguar, and I have the Oil Gorger. And I think we just want to splash the Beast Rider. I do want that because I love that it untaps all of my creatures. And let's just give it a shot. I think this deck can work. Okay, yeah, sure, I'll take it. With the Veloheart Bike, I can make the double black. District Mascot, Risky Shortcut. Don't have a 2-drop, but I do love the District Mascot as a first drop. And let's see. Okay, opponent had to mulligan twice. That's not good for them. District Mascot passing the turn. Opponent played a Mold Tender. So now they are doing nothing, playing a Thornwood Falls. What's the play here? I'm not gonna attack here. I don't want my District Mascot to die. I think that would be a bad trade. Opponent milled some cards. They milled the Sky Serpent Seeker, which I do love. Elvish Refueler, sure, that's a strong card coming into play. So I'll just play a Forest here. And now I could play the Momentum Breaker, making them sack something. I could also play the Veloheart Bike or the Risky Shortcut. What's the safest play here, to be honest? I think I will be able to survive a little more. I'll play the Veloheart Bike because I don't have a land, and then next turn I will be able to produce 4 mana here. No attacks for me. Passing the turn, opponent draws a card and has some really nice lands. People get all those nice lands. I do love the artworks of the lands, often the most. No blocks. They exhausted their Elvish Refueler, going in for 3 damage, passing the turn. So we drew a mana source. Now, what's the play? I can just spin out the Refueler, and I think that's the best play, to be honest, because I do want that refueler gone before it gets too big or before they can exhaust something else. Ooh, they have a... Wow, that sucks. But... do I want a momentum breaker now? I don't love it. And they're gonna sack the mold tender here. I'll attack with the district mascot. Opponent is taking a damage. So now, yeah. Yeah, I'll play the momentum breaker. Not sure if it's really a good thing here. So they have to sack their mold tender. And I pass the turn. Opponent plays a forest followed by a beast rider vanguard, exhausts their refueler, goes in for 4 damage. And we have a silken strength. Wicker folk. Let's play the Wicker folk. Passing the turn. No, I'll crew that. Sure, I'll crew it. Or you know what? I'll saddle that. With the Wicker folk. Nah, I'm just stupid. My head doesn't work now. This was just all... I'll attack. Are they trading the Beast Rider? No, I don't think so. So starting the engines. Wow, today I feel stupid. I feel... wow, I feel a little overwhelmed here. At the moment I'm trying to quit caffeine. So I'm not... I don't have no caffeine, but I switched my beans to half caffeine and half decaf. So I am not in the best state of mind, to be honest. And that's just it. There's nothing I can do. Oil Gorger. I can crew that for 2. And yeah, I'll just play the Oil Gorger. And I want to attack with the Oil Gorger just to get that lifelink going. Or do I want to attack with the mascot? There's so many possibilities. I'll just attack with the Oil Gorger because that is 3 damage definitely. So, oh, wow, I'm just playing really stupid plays here because that refueler, that was annoying. Just being beat down by an elvish refueler hurts my feelings, to be honest. So opponent attacks for sure. I do want to block, but just with the Wicker folk here. Passing the turn. No, they're not. They have to play something, I guess. They have something to play. They are playing an island. Sure. And now it's my turn. Play the Jungle Jallo. Jungle Jallo. Play the Jungle Hollow. I could gain some life. I could also... So what's the thing to do here? 3, 4, 5, spin out. I'm just overwhelmed with that many possibilities here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sure. I'll play the risky shortcut here. Draw 2 cards. Found a maximum overdrive. That is good. So we have maximum speed. I will attack with the Oil Gorger. That is... that is good, and I want to use the maximum overdrive to as the element of surprise to kill that refueler if they don't have any removal spell. So they found a Skystreak Engineer. Wow, this is just I don't know if I should start drinking coffee again. Probably the better idea. So now I want to block with the district mascot here. One blacker. And now I will play the maximum overdrive just to hope they don't have a counter spell. They don't have one, and that's really good, because now that Refueler is gone, which I do love, they have a Hull Drifter, but now the board state is somehow a little more stabilized than it was before. And we have the Agonosaur, and we have Lifelink with the Oil Gorger. Sure, Skystreak Engineer, I can live with that. They can exhaust it, but that's good. Okay, so that's good. Drew a forest, playing the forest, and what's the play here? I think I'll just, yeah, sure. So I'll play the Agonosaur. Why not? And I have the Silken Strength. I want to attack with that Oil Gorger for sure. So I'll just attack with the Oil Gorger, I think. I think that's the play. Or with the Saddle District Mascot, I'm not sure. Wow, this is just too much for my brain here. I don't want to crew that because I needed to play the Silken Strength. I don't want to tap that, but you know, I will survive too. So yeah, sure, I'll saddle that. It just didn't seem like a good idea. But why can't I saddle? Oh, it's too late to saddle. Okay, so I'll attack with that. And I'll also attack with the District Mascot. Why not? Let's see how they want to block. They want to... I guess they're gonna crew their Hull Drifter, because they think they can kill my Oil Gorger with that, but... Okay, so they are crewing that. They are blocking the Oil Gorger. I play the Silken Strength just to get more life and to my Oil Gorger doesn't die. Okay, opponent concedes. That is making the magic happen, everyone. That makes me glad and happy. Alright, this is a non-ideal hand, but with the Ticket Tortoise I think it's keepable. Also Wreckage Wickerfolk here, so playing with the Jungle Hollow, opening with that. So next turn I will want to Wreckage Wickerfolk, to be honest, over playing the Blossoming Sands, just to be able... Okay, do I need that forest? I have that one, 2, 3, yeah, sure. I'll take the forest, I'll take the Silken Strength as well. I do love a Silken Strength here. Opponent doesn't attack, so I'll play the Blossoming Sands. And do I play the... Sure, I'll just play the Momentum Breaker. Opponent has to sack their Colodin. And now I will attack for 1 damage. Opponent goes to... No, opponent has a removal spell. There, Rights and my Wreckage Wickerfolk, which I can live with. It's not the end of the world here. Playing a forest, and now I will play that Hazard of the Dunes. Sure. Okay, so opponent draws a card and plays a Plains, followed by a Roadside Rambler. That is an annoying flyer I need to get rid of. But I think now I can just... I'll play the Ticket Tortoise. And... I'll attack with the Hazard of the Dunes, just because if they want to block with that Roadside Rambler, they are not, so I'll go in for that damage, passing the turn to my opponent, not before increasing my speed to 2. So opponent draws a card. And is considering their next move. Grease Ranch Goblin. Okay, sure. That's a 2/1 with an exhaust to discard 2 cards and putting a +1/+1 counter on it. They already activated that ability here. So I do love that the Silken Strength has Flash. That just makes it a really playable card. Here, opponent does play a Swiftwater Cliffs, and they do crew their Roadside Rambler, Broadcast Rambler, show, for show, sure. So let's just pass to attackers. Now I want to flash in the Silken Strength on my Hazard of the Dunes, untapping it, blocking that Broadcast Rambler, going in, and drew another forest, playing that forest, and now I will play, not after attacking, I will play the Agonosaur Rex, just because it's such a good card. Opponent is at 3 speed. Let's play the Agonosaur. Having an 8/8 Trampler is just a very nice thing here. It's a huge dinosaur. Okay. Opponent is at 12 life, played a Glory Heath Lynx, and flooding the engines on my Agonosaur, which does hurt my feelings, to be honest. It hurts deep inside. Should have probably played the Alacran Jaguar beforehand, but who could have known that they had a flood the engine? Maybe if I would pay more attention, I could have anticipated that, but I didn't. So let's just play the another forest, and let's just exhaust that here, just because it gets even bigger. Auto pay. I'm sacking my treasure token for that, just because 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I do want to get in with that Hazard of the Dunes as a big thing. Opponent does take 8 damage, goes down to 4 life. I am at maximum speed, passing the turn. So if the opponent, they can get 2 life, but I still have the Ticket Tortoise here, which can block. The Grease Ranch Goblin is already exhausted. Oh, that's exhausted, that one's not. They saddled it, okay. And they did attack. They might have the first strike spell or whatever. I'll still block just to see if I might kill them. And that is 6 damage. Okay, so they are at 6 life now. Grease Ranch Goblin exhausting the Grease Ranch Goblin, playing a Walking Sarcophagus and starting their engines. So now what is the thing that I want to do here? I want to attack for sure, keeping up the pressure here. I do have Trample, which I love, and that is just exactly 1 life my opponent still has. So now I will play probably the Jaguar, just because it has Vigilance. It's the bigger thing here. And passing over the turn. Opponent drew a card and concedes, making the magic happen. Alright. That is a very keepable hand. Looks good to me. I want that. Opponent is still thinking about whether to mulligan or not. But I am fond of my hand here. That's a Venom Secular Gag. Love it. Silken Strength here, Wicker Folk, that's a good hand. Opening with that Blossoming Sands. Opponent did keep their hand. So they play a forest. I'll play the Blossoming Sands, passing the turn, gaining a life. Opponent draws a card, has some nice Otter Sleeve, and what are they doing? If you do like my content, feel free to show some love by hitting that like or subscribe down below. It really helps me out to continue making this, and yeah, I'd appreciate it a lot. So let's play the swamp here, just to have all of my colors out on the battlefield. Playing the Lagak, opponent having no 2-drop, no 1-drop is just... I understand why they wanted to mulligan, or why they did take that much time to consider if they want to keep or not. So they played a Jungle Hollow, gained a life, and now they play a Treacherous Insight. Yeah, sure. Milling 4 cards, returning something to their hand, and that is the Pothole Mole. Okay, I can live with a Pothole Mole being returned to the hand. Now I will play the Forest. I want to play the District Mascot, and yeah, I'll attack here. Opponent goes down to 20, play the District Mascot, and passing the turn. So opponent draws a card. Doesn't look good. Like hand-wise, my opponent seems to have a very crappy hand, probably too clunky here. I am happy with how this deck turned out, because I have drafted a fair amount of Golgari decks in the past weeks, and some of them turned out rather disappointing. So often it was I drew crappy hands. Often I had to mulligan, but this deck just feels more solid. The Agonosaur, I do love the Agonosaur, and I think it's a really strong card. Do I want a Silken Strength now on my whatever mascot? I don't think. I want to. Sure, I'll play it, so just so I can attack with the Lagak here and don't have to worry about it being killed. Now I have a 4th land. I will attack, and next to blockers, if they want to block with that Pothole Mole, I will play the Bestow Greatness. If they don't block, I'll just cast that Wicker Folk here in the end of the turn, or in my second main phase. Let's just see where this goes. Opponent does block, so I play the Bestow Greatness and go in for a lot of damage. That is my opponent going down to 15 life and me passing the turn. Next turn I will be able to cast that Agonosaur. Opponent played a land, Wild Roads. No, that they played that before. They just played a forest, and it seems like they have a really clunky hand here. Not playing. Okay, Alacrian Jaguar, I can live with that. That doesn't hurt my feelings too much here. So I will attack with the... Do I just bluff? Like, at that point it's not... I'll just bluff, you know, maybe I'll just bluff. Sometimes it works. For them it's just 1 damage if they don't block, so they did not buy my bluff. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on up to 1 target creature or vehicle. It gains trample and or indestructible. But the Agonosaur, I don't want the District Mascot. I'd rather have the Agonosaur. Opponent goes down to 12, and now I can play that Agonosaur, having the 8/8 and passing the turn. Opponent draws a card and plays... might be playing something. Plays a forest and... can't wait to see what they are playing. Come on, my friend. So next turn, after attacking, I definitely want that Curse Cloth Wrappings. Oh, they had a Migrating Catrodon. That's cool. We need a spin out. Mutant Severe Curse Cloth Wrappings. So I'll just play that. embalm cost is equal to its mana cost, so we can just embalm the district mascot and attack with that Lagak here. Playing the district mascot, why not? Embalming it, and now it's a 2-2 even, and I want to attack with that Lagak. Sure. Opponent, they're probably gonna take the damage, I guess. Sure. Opponent goes down to 13 life. They don't have any artifact that I could kill with those counters here, with that ability. The cute dog. Okay, dog mounts zombie now, but doesn't look too zombie-ish. But it is a zombie because that just creates zombies. Okay, Alacran Jaguar and Migrating Catrodon. I will take that damage. They probably have a removal spell. So do I just block with the... do I just block the Catrodon, I guess? I'll block the Catrodon with that mascot. I can still embalm it. No, I cannot embalm it next turn. But I can live with the... with that card not being alive here. So they probably have a Bestow Greatness. I have a bad feeling about that attack, because why would they attack if they didn't have... they could bluff, sure, but I think they have a Bestow Greatness or probably something in their hand that might be able to pump that Jaguar up to 8 power to kill my Agonosaur, which I don't want. So opponent is still in their second main phase. Doesn't know what to play. Plays a starting column that they still have. Now they can produce 4 mana. Broken Wings destroying my Curse Cloth wrappings, sure. But now they cannot have anything that is strong enough. So I'll just attack with both my creatures and then play those 2 creatures, I guess. Having a defender is good. Having the Mutant Surveyor is good because I can sink all my mana in that for my next attack. So how are they blocking? They don't want to lose their Jaguar. If they don't block, they are at 2 life. Yeah, I know, it's a tough decision. It's a tough decision. They are afraid that I might have a Bestow Greatness. Ooh, they are only able to produce 1 mana here, so there's nothing in this set that can make them kill my Agonosaur here. Okay. Tough spot here for my opponent. I understand that. So what's the play? They could kill my Lagak, then it would be dead anyway, so I guess it's the... I would block the same way, I guess. Oh, run over. Oh wow, yeah, that's fair, sure. That is fair. Opponent still going down to 6 life. I will play the Mutant Surveyor and I will play that Ticket Tortoise just to have that defender. They're not going to be able to attack me with that Catrodon, otherwise they would be dead here next turn. So I think if I just draw a spin out or something, that might be good, but let's just see what my opponent here is going to play. Let's just find out what will happen. But I have a good feeling, I have the upper hand here. I am sad my Agonosaur is now gone with that run over. That was a clever use of that run over. So I'll block with the with the Ticket Tortoise. That's what the blocker is for. So they have some creature, otherwise they would not attack. They don't have a creature, then they have a spin out or Earth Rumbler, but that can't be crewed now. That was probably a stupid move. So let's just Aha, they can exile. But you know, I have the maximum overdrive. I have that. They can exile something. I have learned that the hard way, you know? The Earth Rambler has a very nice ability, exile an artifact or creature from your graveyard. They didn't block. And that's the game. If they don't play anything, why did they had some creatures to exile? So anyway, I learned that the hard way. I've lost 3 or 4 times to the Earth Rumbler because I always forgot about that ability. So good game. Except that this is now gone. They gain a life, okay, but I can still play the maximum overdrive to get in for 7 damage, and that's the game. That is making the magic happen with a nice Golgari deck. For once it works out. Ah, okay, they gain another life, but I can activate that ability a second time, auto paying. And I think that's it. Or can they still can okay, so they did survive here, but I think it's still okay. They are at 1 life. They're exiling as many creatures as they can to gain as much life as they can. Still, opponent is at 2 life, and I think they're not able to kill me here. Now they don't have any creatures in their graveyard anymore, so they will need to crew that for 3. They have the Migrating Catrodon, so if they don't play a creature now, that is it then for sure. No creatures here. So opponent, maybe they can get around. The day ain't over yet. So last draft I did use a German term where I said man soll den Tag nicht vor dem Abend loben, and it kind of, yeah, it kind of I translated it like you shouldn't praise the day before the evening. And that's just nothing, that's just not a phrase, but there is an equivalent. I looked it up, and it's don't count your chickens before they hatch. That's the British English or American English equivalent to that phrase that I was talking about. But I think like the day ain't over yet is just a much nicer phrase, to be honest. So opponent wanna exile, but I will be able to get in for 2. They can crew whatever they want. That is the game. If they don't have anything that kills my creature here, they play that. So 1, 2, 3. Still not 2. I'll just do it anyway. Oh wow. Well, I don't think they're gonna be able to turn that around. There's one point of power missing. They have the Siphon Fuel, which sucks. Now they did really get around here with 4 life. So that is exactly why I was talking about that phrase. The day ain't over yet. I have the Wreckage Wickerfolk. And they have that Earth Rumbler gaining 2 more life. So that game could still end bad for me. They're gonna crew that Earth Rumbler, go in for 7 damage probably. But if I can just get rid of that Catrodon, and I have not found any removal spells so far, but I don't have that many removal spells, I think. I don't have very good removal spells. Ah, I have the Spin Out. Wow, okay, so that is at least something here. Can't cast that Wickerfolk, but let's pass the turn. Hope for my opponent to draw a land or something. Okay, they drew a Lagak. Sucks. But not able to crew that. Able to crew that for go in for 4 damage. So it's nice how these games can turn around. after looking very, very clear, very, very balanced. Now, okay, opponent goes in. They can now crew the Earth Rumbler with that, sure. And they can exile something, and they can go in. They can kill me now. That just hurts my feeling. Ouch. That hurts my feeling. Wow. I did not expect that to happen in that game. But it's okay. It's part of the game. Okay, I will keep that hand, even though I don't love it. But it's okay, you know. It's an okay hand. The question is just, do I start with the night market? Sure, why not? Because then I will be able... I will make it a white mana source. I don't know if it's really the best idea, because I have never drawn my Veteran Beast Rider, but you know, that's what it is there for. So let's make it a white mana source. Passing the turn, opponent draws a card and plays an island. Very nice looking island here. So I'll play the Wreckage Wickerfolk and Surveil for 2. That is good. Wow, that's many forests. We don't need 3, 4, 5. Like, I can use them to I'll put one to the side. I want to draw one more, but that's it. Next turn I can cast that Ticket Tortoise. Midnight Mangler, sure, that is the one that is an artifact during their turn. So I'll just play the Ticket Tortoise and pass the turn. Opponent, I can attack, it's a flyer, sure. Okay, that's 1 damage in the air. Opponent goes down to 19 life, plays a Plains. They are some Esper artifacts deck. Plays a Wreckage Wickerfolk, surveils for 2. That is a Wreckage Wickerfolk for sure. And now we drew another swamp. Let's just play the forest. Play that Wickerfolk Indomitable, I guess. Let's just... I'm not able to kill that with the Silken Strength, so let's just play that and pass the turn. No attacks here. Opponent draws a card and plays a swamp, followed by a Pactal Terror, which is annoying, which is probably the key card for this whole deck, or one of the biggest threats in this whole deck. Let's just accept that it's there for now, but hope for some removal spell, or hope for some spell that might be... I do want the... I do... Phew. I'll play the Jaguar and just not do anything else. Just to have that here, passing the turn. I don't want to my Wreckage Wickerfolk, my Wickerfolk Indomitable to die from that Midnight Mangler, so no attacks here for me. Opponent plays a Walking Sarcophagus, pinging me for a life and gaining a life and increasing their speed to 2. So now they played a Diversion unit, pinging and gaining again. That's it, passing the turn. So I play a swamp. I will saddle that Wreckage that Jaguar with the Wickerfolk, and I will attack here. Let's just see. Do I want to attack with that as well? No, just with the Jaguar. That gets +2/+2. So how are they blocking? Are they blocking? Those big board states can get very confusing here. Starting their engines, sure. Okay. So I want that Silken Strength to be a surprise here. Or I want the Mutant Surveyor. Let's play that for sure. Like, they can counter a spell unless I pay 2. So do I rather So if I put that on, for example, the Wicked Folk Indomitable, I just have a much bigger creature that is a 5/5, and that's just much better here now. Having a 5/5, they can now, I played it now because later they can counter it. I don't want that to be countered. I want to have a good reacher here. I want to have all the creatures I have and the best board state. Opponent draws a card and plays an Engine Rat. Sure, don't love that, to be honest. I hate that. And a Winter. Wow, all the artifacts now have Ward 2, paying 2 life to okay, we drew a Swamp, which I don't love. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, I'll still play it. And that just hurts now because the Engine Rat can kill all my big creatures. I'll just pass the turn. No attacks here. Like, I have a good feeling. I have a good feeling at the moment. My board state is looking solid. Opponent plays another Wreckage Wicked Folk. That's pinging for 1 life, gaining a life. And opponent is at 3 speed, passing the turn or not. They're not attacking with that Engine Rat. I do want to get rid of the Pactal Terror, I guess. But I have some decent blockers here. Okay, opponent milled an island, playing a Lotus Guard Disciple. Wow. Okay, some creature gains lifelink and indestructible. That sucks. That sucks, really. Don't love that. Passing to attackers. They're just gonna attack with that Pactal Terror. I'll take the 3 damage. Opponent goes up to 26 life. And I go down to 13 life. They have twice as much as me. So I'll play that Pothole Mole. And milling 3 cards, returning a land card. We milled District Mascot and Momentum Breaker. Playing the Forest, why not? And passing the turn. No attacks here. Which okay, I'm glad that I have that 5/5 Reacher here. Like now, it's probably the one who draws the first removal spell is the one who is going to be able to attack. I would gladly pay 2 life to get rid of the Pactal Terror, because that is what can kill me just slowly while they have a good board state. And I did draw a Maximum Overdrive, which I do love. So do I just want to attack now? No, I think it's not the best idea. I think, or do I just, I can saddle that for 1. Opponent can go in for 3. I can saddle that for 1, sure. But let's just attack with that Pothole Mole. I don't think they're gonna wanna... They're gonna take the damage, sure. Okay, going down to 25 life. Passing the turn to my opponent. Wow, the board state is looking really crazy here. I could definitely... Watch a quick world up. Going down to 11, opponent is back at 26. I hate that Pactal Terror here. But I still think that my deck is just slightly better than the artifact stack. I hope so. If I find my Orgonosaur, it's already dead here. So resolve. Opponent draws 2 cards. Don't love that. I could use some card draw as well, and they discarded a Swamp, played an Island, and passing to attackers. So they can still counter any spell. Now I will play that Lagak. And oh, okay, so sure, I will attack with the Pothole Mole again And also with the Wreckage Wicker Folk, I guess. So they are blocking with that Midnight Mangler and with that Lotus Guard Disciple. If I don't do anything, nothing happens here. And here, this will die, but also but my Pothole Mole will die and this not. So do I want to get rid of that flyer? It's probably or do I just don't want my Pothole Mole to be dead, you know. And then it gets even bigger here. Opponent has one creature that is one less creature here. They can diversion unit, but I am able to pay 3 at this point of the game, so that is okay. And that is a fine game here. Opponent draws a card, plays a Broadcast Rambler, creating a 1/1 Flying Thopter, Pactal Terror, making me go down to 9 life. If I'm going to lose to that one Pactal Terror because I'm not able to remove it, it's going to hurt my feelings very, very much. We drew a land, which is definitely not what we needed. But, you know, I'll attack with the Legak here. Do I want to attack with that Legak? Do I want to saddle it for 2 even? Sure, why not? If they might have... Yeah, I'll saddle it for 2. With that... Mutant Severe. No. With the Pothole Mole. It's better. And... I will attack with that Legak here. Just to get in for some damage. Opponent crews their Broadcast Rambler. Okay. Sure. They are blocking with that Rambler. Is it a fair trade? I don't know. Like their creatures are just smaller than ours. So we have bigger creatures, but they have that Pactal Terror and that sucks a lot. They have that Engine Rat, which makes me not attack with the Mutant Severe because I don't want to lose that. So now they play the Camera Launcher, gaining another life, pinging for 1. I'm down at 8 life. I don't love it. Okay, creating a Thopter, pinging for 1 more, going down to 7. That just sucks here. That is a very, very good example of that artifact stack working really well. So, okay, they have that. I will block. I will block like this, and I will block like this. I do like that. So I go down to 3 life. Wow. And we drew a Jungle Hollow. I still will play it. And pass the turn. No attacks. I think I'm going to lose to that Pactal Terror because they can just play whatever artifacts they want and I will lose. That is just a very, very good card in that deck. That deck lives off of that card. I played a draft where I had 3 or 4 copies of the Pactal Terror and that was an amazing run. I think I went 5 or 6 wins. I'm not sure. It performed decent. So that is now 1 returning. What are they returning? The Broadcast Rambler, and that's the game, I guess. 1, 2, 3. And they have more than 1 flyer. So that's the game. They have 1, 2, 3 flyers with a 2. I have 2. Possibly have the Wreckage Wicker Folk. So that's it. That is the game. Okay. Alright, I think I'll keep that. It's not ideal, but you know, I can survive the first few turns here. Can even maximum overdrive on my Legak. Make it indestructible. Playing play a swamp and passing the turn. Opponent plays an island, passes the turn. So I'll just play the Lagak and pass the turn again. Opponent draws a card and plays a Plains. Sure. That resolves, plays a Walking Sarcophagus. We drew a swamp. Let's play the forest here. Let's play the Mutant Severe and pass the turn to my opponent. No attacks here. Don't wanna risk my Lagak. Ooh, we could. Oh wow, I'm too stupid, but you know, then they're not gonna attack at least. So opponent plays a Voyager Quick Welder and does not attack. So we drew a forest, playing the swamp. I'll just attack with the Surveyor. Next to blockers, the opponent doesn't block, so I will activate that ability here twice, or just once, like twice, why not? Going in for 4 damage, opponent goes down to 16 life. I am at 2 speed, passing the turn. Opponent draws a card and plays another Plains. They are in blue-white, which is mostly not the best. Put one on. Oh, okay, they can put the permanent onto my library. Sure. Going in for 4 damage. So they did splash for the. They did probably build the deck around the Gear Hulk. I don't know, but I think I'll play the Argonosaur and pass the turn. No attacks. Even with the double strike, this will just be dead if they attack me. Take a Tortoise, sure. So they're not attacking, I guess. And I can maximum overdrive my... That has prowess, sure, okay. I have never played against it. I have never seen it in play, to be honest. I played against all the other Gear Hulks, or I played myself with the Gear Hulks, but I did not play with any other card. So let's just attack with that Argonosaur. Next to blockers. Are they blocking? How are they blocking? Why are they blocking? Who is blocking? Blocking with the Gear Hulk. I'd prefer if they block with that Gear Hulk. So they are blocking with the Marshall's Path Cruiser. Sure. That is that. And I'll play the maximum overdrive, giving it a death touch counter and indestructible until end of turn. And that is my opponent going down to 9 life. So now I will play Rise from the Wreck. No, not yet. End the turn. So I do like the Argonosaur very much. I do like it's not dead. And let's just see what happens. Opponent plays a Guidelight Optimizer. Sure. Passing to attackers. They are attacking with that Gear Hulk or not? Double strike and prowess. That's just crazy. It's cool, but I think it's the least good of the Gear Hulks. Just because of those colors, they're the white and blue artifact stack just doesn't work without the black. In Esper it works, but in Azorius it's just not good enough, to be honest. No blocks. So I go down to 12 life, sure. I can live with that, passing the turn. So now we drew a Lagak. I do love it, and also a Hazard of the Dunes. They might have a Right's End, I think. I'll attack with the Argonosaur still. Sure, I'll attack with the Agonisaur. They are blocking. Okay, but that is still a lot of damage going into their direction. I am at maximum speed, playing the Legak as a death toucher here, and still not playing the Rise from the Wreck. So they will want to remove either. Okay, so that's it. Good. So let's just hope this deck performs good, performs well. I'll keep that hand, and I'll want to open with the Mascot here and then play the Legak next turn. Blossoming Sands can wait, even though it hurts my feelings to not have a 3-drop here. But I think to have a rushy start, okay, so it's good. Playing that Swamp, playing that Legak, saddling that for 1 with the Legak and attacking. Now it's a 2-2. Opponent accepts the damage, goes down to 18 life and draws a card. Now the opponent plays a Forest followed by a Guidelight Matrix. Sure, draws a card, and mounts can become saddled and vehicles can become creatures. So we drew the land we needed. Let's just play the Mutant Surveyor here. Let's just saddle that again for 1 with the Mutant Surveyor. Let's just attack with both my creatures. Opponent goes down to 13 life, starting my engines, and opponent concedes. That was a very fast game. I'm not saying making the magic happen. Okay, sure. District Mascot, Silken Strength. I don't love the hand, but I'll still keep it because why not? Opening with that Jungle Hollow. Opponent opened with the Plains. Passing the turn, opponent draws a card, plays a second Plains, and has a Skyseer's Chariot as a 2-drop. Okay, they are choosing a random card named Bruteheart Engine, sure, but I'm not playing Bruteheart Engine, which I do love here. Okay, Blossoming Sands, gaining a life, passing the turn. Opponent draws a card, plays a Plains, plays a Brightfield Glider, and collision courses my Mascot here, my doggy. That sucks. Don't love that. So we want to make a second black source to be able to cast that Criscloth Wrappings. And here we have played our Ticket Tortoise. Next turn we can play the Velohard Bike or the Surveyor. Opponent will attack. I will take 1 damage. Rack Remover, sure. They are... I would not play that main deck, to be honest. It's just not a real good card, and it only works against the Golgari deck. But, you know, it's okay for me. And to be honest, we had some graveyard synergies. So I think that Rack Remover should be taken care of, actually. So do I want to have the element of surprise? Do I play the... I'll play the Velohard Bike and pass the turn. So then I can maybe kill their Rack Remover with my Silken Strength next turn, because they are probably going to attack with that. They're crewing that Skyseer's Chariot. Wickerfolk Indomitable. So they are crewing with the Wickerfolk, which is good, because then I will be able to surprise kill that Rack Remover and get something out of my... Why didn't they attack? Why didn't they attack? I don't love it. Passing to damage. Sure, I have to take that. That is a black and white kind of maximum speed, or it's... I don't really know what kind of deck it might be. Drew a Plains, playing the Plains, playing the Mutant Surveyor, still hoping for that Rack Remover to be attacking here. Oh, they thought they thought. Okay, so I will crew it for 2. And I will attack to make them think that they can safely attack with that wreck remover here. And now I will attack with the Velohard bike. Opponent is probably going to take the 4 damage. Oh no, they are okay, but I can live with that. So even now I can now Silken Strength, and the Velohard bike doesn't even die. So now it enchanted permanent. Okay, enchant creature or vehicle. I wasn't sure if it also enchants vehicles, because otherwise then it would probably just fall off and go to a graveyard, that enchantment here. But like this, oh, Perilous Snare, sure. So they wanna get rid of my Velohard bike, which I can live with because I still. Okay, so let's just see how what will happen here. They have the Perilous Snare, they have the Skyseer's Chariot. They can crew that, go in for 3 more damage, starting their engines. Okay, we have the Streaking Oil Gorger. I do love it. Why not? Let's go in for some damage and attack here. Opponent goes down to 16 life. I am at 2 speed. Ticket Tortoise. Okay, opponent will attack with the Chariot, so I will go down to 12 at least. They're also going to attack with the Gas Guzzler, maybe. Don't think so, because I have the Ticket Tortoise. Okay, there. This is now also a flyer. So that is 5 damage for me in the air. Don't love it. Could use a flyer here. No, we drew a flyer. We have the flyer, and I'm not going to attack now. I also have that Bestow Greatness, and I think I'll just pass the turn here for now. Let's just hope they don't draw a Right's End or whatever, because I am fond of my Oil Gorger as a blocker. So, opponent does crew their Skyseer's Chariot and does attack with that Chariot. I will block with that Oil Gorger, and I want to give it +4/+4 until end of turn. So now that is good, because now that Chariot is just gone and my Oil Gorger is still alive. So now what's the play? Let's just play a land. Let's just attack with it, like with the Mutant Surveyor. Sure. Or do I? No, I'll just attack with the Oil Gorger. One attacker here. Going in for 3 damage. Opponent is at 13 life, passing the turn. So we have a decent amount of blockers. With that Mutant Surveyor, they're not. Oh, okay. Lifelink and Indestructible, sure. They are going to attack for 4. And they are saddling that Brightfield Glider. Don't love it as well, but we can 1, 2, 3. We can give it +3/+3, then it's not that. Doesn't have Death Touch here. Activating that ability twice. You know what? 3rd time, why not? Passing to blockers, blocking that. And that is me going down to 8 life. I need to do something about that Brightfield Glider. At max speed they can put a counter on that. Okay, Momentum Breaker. Sure. That's good. Opponent has to sacrifice something. And I need to get in, because otherwise I can gain life to my speed. I can just attack with that Oil Gorger. Opponent does block. So this is both that, but you know what? live with that. Oh, I could have played it. No, I couldn't have. No, second black mana source. So 1, 2. They're not attacking, I guess. I have the control over that board state, and if I recover, I can get the Oil Gorger back with the Curse Cloth wrappings. It's gonna be a 4/4 flying haster with lifelink. Okay, putting a +1/+1 counter on that creature. That's... But I cannot... Ooh, no, that hurts my feelings. Come on. The Venom Secular Gag. What the... Come on, that is a very annoying thing for you to do here, my friend. Don't love it, but they're still not going to attack. If they attack, I can kill them with that Mutant Severe. Sure. Activating that ability twice to be at least strong enough to kill that Wicked Folk Indomitable as well. So both are dead. That's a fair trade. I am at 8 life. That needs to be crewed for 3. So I can now just get the Curse Cloth wrappings and play... Not able to... I can get the Mutant Severe back, and next turn I can just get the... Next turn I can just get the Oil Gorger. Let's just hope we survive that long. We can also kill that Chariot if they... Okay, Perilous Snare, wow. What an annoying thing is happening. That many good removal spells. Detention Chariot going in for a bazillion of damage. That's 8 damage. I'll block, sure. Need to block that, but... So we drew an Alacrian Jaguar and the Oil Gorger, and I think that 5... I could definitely use the lifelink, to be honest, here. And they got rid of my Curse Cloth wrappings. Oh, I see. That's just very annoying. So I'll play the Jaguar. I'm probably gonna lose that here. Probably going to lose that game. Go in for damage, I guess. They're not gonna block because they need that to crew here. Opponent goes down to 15. I am at maximum speed. So if I find something to remove anything at all, I would love to get my Curse Cloth wrappings back. That would be just amazing, but let's see. Okay, opponent crews their Detention Chariot, puts a +1/+1 counter on it. I need to block with my Jaguar, otherwise I'm dead. And it hurts my feelings a lot. Okay, so still have 11 life. Opponent plays a Nesting Bot. That's nice for them. Still, I think that's the game for me. Wicked Folk Indomitable, sure. And that is the game for me. Not going to be able to do anything. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can make it a 6, 7, but that's not strong enough. And they just kill me. That's the game. So I think it was my third game. Not too fond of what happened here, but it happens. And let's just hope for our next draft to be a little more successful. But I think, you know, it was okay. It's a 4 in 3. That is okay. I just lost 100 gems. Anyway, if you have any feedback, any suggestions, any ideas, let me know in the comments. And hit the like or subscribe button if you liked the video. It helps me continue to grow and make more content like this. And I wish you a nice day.